You might think the era of the witch hunt ended in Salem 3 centuries ago. A dark, dusty chapter of human history, closed, locked away, and forgotten. But what if I told you that while you're sitting there, in your comfortable high-tech world, somewhere right now, a woman is being branded a Dayan in a remote village in India, or a child is being tortured in the streets of Papua New Guinea to purge Sanguma spirits? This isn't ancient history. This isn't a movie. This is now. Between 2009 and 2019 alone, a UN report revealed a statistic that should haunt your sleep. Over 20,000 people were killed as witches across 60 different countries. 20,000 lives extinguished because of a belief we claim to have outgrown. Think about that. In our hyper-connected, technologically advanced 21st century, the ancient, brutal practice of witch hunting is not only alive, it's thriving. It's a chilling, uncomfortable truth that forces us to look into the abyss of our own nature. Why does every civilization independently develop this terrifying protocol? From the frozen tundras to the tropical islands, the pattern is the same. What primal fear, what deep-seated human need drives us to find a scapegoat, to point a finger, and to destroy? You see, this isn't just a series of isolated tragedies. This is a protocol, a biological and social system designed to target, to blame, and to eliminate when life becomes too uncertain to bear. It's a mechanism built for survival, but fueled by blood. And the most terrifying part isn't that they died, it's that the protocol that killed them is sitting dormant, right now inside of you. To understand where we are, we have to see where we've been. From the humid jungles of Papua New Guinea to the hallowed, repressed halls of colonial America, the pattern is undeniable. Let's go back to Salem, Massachusetts, 1692. Imagine a small, isolated, God-fearing community gripped by a winter of paranoia. Young girls experiencing strange, violent fits, barking like dogs, twisting their bodies into impossible shapes. The community didn't see a medical crisis. They saw the devil, the evidence, spectral evidence, the invisible testimony of tormented souls who claimed they saw the spirits of their neighbors attacking them. 19 men and women were marched to the gallows and hanged. One man was pressed to death under heavy stones. Their crime? Witchcraft. But Salem was just a tiny flicker in a much larger, much older bonfire. Across Europe, from the 14th to the 18th centuries, the continent was a slaughterhouse. During periods of immense social upheaval, devastating plagues, and crop-killing famines, an estimated 40,000 to 60,000 people were systematically executed as witches. These weren't just random acts of violence. They were legal proceedings. They were society's attempt to fix a broken world. Every time the crops failed, every time a new disease swept through a village, every time the social fabric began to fracture, the witch hunts began. It's a recurring nightmare woven into the very fabric of human history, a terrifying repeating cycle that spans continents and centuries. We see the bodies, we see the trials, and we see the fear. Historical records show the pattern with brutal clarity, but they don't show the mechanism. To find that, we have to look deeper. We have to look inside the human brain. So why does this happen? Why, when faced with uncertainty, do we so often turn on our own? The answer lies in the deep, ancient architecture of our psychology. Our brains are not built for truth, they are built for survival, and survival requires explanation. We crave order, even if it's a false one. When faced with random misfortune, a child's sudden illness, a failed harvest that means starvation, a mysterious death in the night, our minds cannot handle the random. We search for a cause, a reason, a perpetrator. This is the essence of the scapegoat protocol. It is infinitely easier to blame an individual, a group, or an other than to confront the terrifying, cold randomness of existence. Anthropologist E.E. Evans-Pritchard spent years studying the Azande people in Central Africa, and he discovered something profound. To the Azande, witchcraft didn't explain how a granary collapsed. They knew termites did that. It explained why it collapsed on that specific person at that specific time. It provided a culturally coherent explanation for suffering. It gave them someone to be angry at. But it's more than just an explanation, it's a powerful tool for social control. Communities often target the tall poppies, those who are too successful, too different, too outspoken, or too isolated. Accusations of witchcraft are the ultimate social leveler. They are used to enforce norms, suppress dissent, and eliminate those who don't fit the mold. It's a way to maintain social cohesion by sacrificing an outsider to the gods of order. If this is just psychology, just a way of thinking, why are people still dying in the streets today? Because in the scapegoat protocol, belief is more than just a thought, it's a biological weapon. This isn't just theory or academic observation, it's a brutal, living reality that is claiming lives as we speak. In the highlands of Papua New Guinea, accusations of sanguma, sorcery, lead to horrific acts of torture and public murder. Families are torn apart, and innocent people are burned alive because a neighbor had a bad dream or a child fell ill. In Tanzania, the horror takes a different, even more grotesque form. People with albinism are hunted like animals. Their body parts are hacked off while they are still alive, believed by some to bring wealth and good fortune in ritualistic practices. Over 50 have been confirmed killed since 2007, and many more have disappeared, and it's not just in developing nations. In Saudi Arabia, witchcraft remains a capital offense, a crime against the state punishable by the sword. The scale of this modern persecution is staggering, but perhaps the most chilling aspect of this protocol is its physiological power, the Nocebo Effect. You've heard of the placebo effect, where belief can heal. The Nocebo Effect is its dark, lethal twin. It's where belief in a curse, in a hex, in a death sentence, can literally manifest fatal symptoms in a healthy body. Walter B. Cannon, a legendary Harvard physiologist, documented this phenomenon in 1942, calling it voodoo death. He observed individuals convinced they were cursed by a powerful shaman whose bodies would simply shut down. Their blood pressure would drop, their heart rate would plummet, and their organs would fail. They would die, not from poison, not from physical injury, but from the sheer, overwhelming power of their own belief. When your entire social world brands you as dead, your brain can literally kill your body to comply. So, what does this ultimately say about us, about the human species? The uncomfortable truth that we all have to face is, we all possess the hardware for a witch hunt. The scapegoat protocol isn't some ancient forgotten software from a primitive era. It's deeply ingrained, a core part of our operating system. Look around you today. Look at the digital landscape, social media mobs, cancel culture, the relentless, feverish hunt for villains during times of national or global crisis. Remember the early terrifying days of the COVID-19 pandemic? The wild conspiracy theories, the vitriolic blame directed at specific ethnic groups, the desperate, almost religious need to find a single, tangible enemy for an invisible, microscopic threat. It's the same primal urge, the same ancient protocol, just repackaged for the 5G age. Anthropologist Bronisław Malinowski observed that we use magic for the things we cannot control. And as long as there is fear, as long as there is uncertainty, as long as there are things we cannot explain with a simple click, there will be witches. The final payoff, the ultimate realization we must confront is this. Witch hunts are not about witches. They never were. They are about us. They are about the human inability to process uncertainty, to accept randomness, and to live without a target for our fear. The scapegoat protocol is our species' primitive, bloody defense mechanism against the chaos of the universe. And understanding it, truly, deeply understanding it, is the only way to stop it from claiming more victims in our digital age. It's time to stop looking for the witch in the shadows and start looking at the witch in the mirror.